30 videos in 30 days, day 14. Today's question comes from Jessica via email, and she writes, Andrew, I often feel like I'm being tested. Why do so many of the same issues come up for me over and over again? I get to a place where I think I've healed it, but then it comes around. What is going on? What is that about? Jessica, this is a fantastic question. You are not alone. I ask this question all of the time. In fact, I think I just asked it the other day. So thank you for bringing it up because I think it's an important one to open up. When I hear people talk about this idea of being tested, and when I explore my own relationship with this concept of like what it gives, am I being tested? Is there something I'm missing? I think that, this is something I just want to address really quickly, just perhaps to help us shift our perspective. I think that collectively we have sort of projected this patriarchal idea onto the universe at large, right? This old, wrathful, vengeful God, this male father figure who's sitting up in a chair in, a throne in heaven with a long white beard and a tablet of who's naughty and nice, which is also sort of Santa Claus, but you get what I'm saying, and he's sitting here judging us and waiting to condemn us and making sure that we're, doing our homework and eating our broccoli before we get our dessert. And so I think that when we can just acknowledge that, okay, maybe perhaps in my own mind I have, sort of skewed this idea that I have to, that there's a test I have to pass, that it's a pass-fail thing, a good, bad thing, a right or wrong thing. I think that really what it is my perception and my belief is that it's like a major in college. I don't think that we're being tested. I don't think that when these things recur and come back around in our awareness, it's because we did something wrong. I think there's a lot of reasons, and I'm going to explain to you my perspective, but I think the fundamental one is that when we look at themes in our life, if we look back over the history of our life or our spiritual experience or what have you, we can see that there are patterns that recur and repeat quite often. And I think it's because our soul, our creator self, our higher self, whatever you want to call it, the true self, has chosen this subject matter to study for this lifetime. So just like when we go into college, we choose an area of study, we choose an area to focus on because it's something that excites us or that inspires us or that we're really curious about. That's what I think it is. So I think oftentimes it's not that you're being tested, it's just this is what you wanted to explore in this lifetime and in this incarnation that you call Jessica. So I think that's the first thing is we can go, oh, okay, maybe rather than thinking I'm being tested and I've done something wrong, it's just that this is my area of expertise and the area that I wanted to focus on for this lifetime. Having said that, when things repeat or recur into our experience, I think there's a couple of reasons. I think number one is that we have new information. Because from a soul perspective, if I said, okay, in this lifetime, I want to work on resolving issues with relationships or money or physical health or what have you. So I am going to experience it over and over and over in this incarnation called Jessica so that I can resolve it within myself. And when things repeat and recur in our experiences, because we have new information about it and new information about it stemming from our relationship with it. And when my relationship with a particular topic has shifted because I have a new level of insight or I've let go in a certain way or I've reached a new level of peace or clarity around it, that's when it oftentimes comes up again because my relationship with it has shifted. So now it can come back around as an opportunity for me to see it with new eyes, with new perspective, with more compassion, with more unconditional love, with more understanding. Even if the shift is infinitesimally small and you may not even be consciously aware of it, when it repeats and recurs, it's because you're given an opportunity to shift your relationship with it. Or more correctly, I believe that your relationship with it has shifted, so it comes back around so you have a chance to acknowledge that. I think the second thing that I like to talk about is that when, to me, the mark of healing is neutrality. When I can have something that was a trigger or something that was an issue or something that is sort of a hot button kind of walking on eggshells around this topic for me, when I finally reach a place where I can look at that person or talk to that person or think about that issue or talk about that issue and it no longer sort of disrupts or creates a wobble in my alignment, I'm able to look at it and go, yep, there it is. Wow, there's that dude that used to send me spinning out like crazy and I just saw his post on Instagram or I saw him walking down the street or I got a text from him or whatever. And I just go, oh, yep, there he is. And there's no fluctuation in my energy. To me, that is when I know that I have healed my relationship with it. And when my relationship with it is healed or resolved, it begins to just move out of my awareness. So I think part of it is understanding that, again, not because you did something right or wrong, it's just that when something shows back up, you have a chance to go, okay, am I still attached to this? Am I still connected to this? Am I still triggered by this? I think there's another thing that happens, and I've talked about this in several articles that I have posted recently, about as the way that energy moves through us is it starts as a non-physical impulse, then it comes back around and hits us at the mental and emotional level, and then it comes back around and finally hits us at the physical level. So oftentimes things repeat in our experience, not because we've missed it or because we haven't gotten the point, it's that there's still a level of it that is embedded in our physicality or our mental field, emotional field, or our energy field that still needs to be kind of moved out. And so oftentimes it's just a matter of sort of house cleaning, you know, like spiritual spring cleaning, where we're just kind of carting this stuff out of our awareness, out of our field, so that we can finally fully release it. So sometimes things repeat in our awareness, again, not because we've missed something or something is wrong, it's just moving out. It's like it's like water evaporating off of a hot skillet, and it moves through our awareness, and as it passes in front of our awareness, we have an experience of like, oh my God, no, here it is again. So I think if we can allow ourselves to see that the only reason something repeats is for our benefit, it's coming back around so that we can love it and accept it and eventually release it more deeply and more profoundly. And once the lesson has been learned, once the message has been received, and once it has been resolved on all levels of our self, mind, body, spirit, you know, emotions, then we are able to fully release it, and it just sort of moves out and fades away, never to be seen again. Thank you for the amazing question, Jessica. I hope this helps.